It's time for the College Hockey Show! And now here's your host, Jeremiah Maxwell, and the degenerate Bostonian, Mike Warino.
Okay.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, you like that? And we can go to the
cool.
old widescreen shot just to start the show, get the little bit of Alaska going. We have what they call in Alaska, Mike, turbination dust. And that means there's snow on the mountains. So
all right.
And it wouldn't be a show if Avi wasn't in the chat. Yo, yo, yo. Thank you, Avi. Appreciate you. Welcome to Season 2, Episode 3 of the College Hockey Show. We are live every Monday and Thursday at 10:30 Eastern. And we talked about that a little bit on the pre-show. We are now live on TikTok. You can hear Mike, but not see him. We're working on it. We'll figure it out one of these days. I'll get it all boiled up into one system. But we appreciate you. Already got a ton of people live on TikTok, here on X, here on YouTube. And, you know, every once in a while we get somebody showing their face in Twitch. And, of course, also on my Instagram. And all those links are in my channel details. If you click on my link, whichever you're watching, you can find my TikTok. You get a little bit better things. So Mike has given us talking points already. I think we don't need to waste any time. Let's get right into it, Mike. Let me get the thing going up here. And no. Let's close that. Sorry. Okay. Oh, you know what? I'll just do it from my phone. I apologize.
So,
go ahead.
Going on, Avi, first of all, you are not going to be watching Sparty BO on ESPN2. You're going to be watching that from center ice, sitting next to me, buddy. I don't know why you're worried about what's on TV.
Is he going to the game with you?
Saturday. He's got the extra ticket.
So the ESPN2 game is Friday. We should have talked about that right away, and I apologize. Shout out, friend of the show, Colby Cohen, who's going to be calling the game with John Buccigross, also friend of the show, working on getting both those guys back on at some point. Maybe we get them on together. But we'll see. Those live interviews, guys, they won't be at 10:30 Eastern. It'll be too hard to get those guys for that time. I wouldn't even ask Colby with two young kids to do it. So just be prepared. We'll get those guys on at some point. And then I want to work on just getting people for every school, whether it's a player or a coach or something. And I'll try to have those interviews, and I'll try to get those out to you guys. So we're working really hard on that. So sometimes Mike will be a part of them. Sometimes they won't. These are, I thought you texted me those. Oh, you DM me them on X. I'm sorry.
But I'll jump on it now. I'll say this. I'll get the homer out of the way. Guys, big Michigan fan for the Blue Nation. We were down 2-0 to Robert Morris at home. We squeaked out an empty netter to win 4-2. I'm noticing a trend here. Thursdays, big names getting upset by little guys. Remember last week there was 3, and we almost had a couple tonight. So I guess something to keep an eye on going forward for these Thursday games. The NCAA says they want more because it gets people to watch them. And I'm with it. I definitely watch more hockey if it's on a Thursday night. Irish fans, you were down 2-0 to SLU. So that is St. Lawrence. You then scored 8 unanswered. So good job turning that around. I think we said, last show that I think the Irish are going to go 500 or better. So I'm looking forward to that. And then lastly, I posted this out on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. Wisconsin minus 166 record-wise. It will go down as a tie. Game ends in a tie. College, that's how it works. But as we will discuss later in the year, the weight of a pairwise game. And for us gamblers, the shootout plays. So your money line bet did indeed cash tonight. I actually thought the line should have been closer to minus 200. I thought Wisconsin was going to steam them. They did not. They won on a shootout. But hey, guys, We're up. It comes out to be about half a unit because it was a 166 juice today. But if you're following me around, you're putting a couple of bucks in your pocket tonight. So congratulations and you're welcome. I do want to get on the Wisconsin team here. The reason I thought they had a snowball's chance to get in the tournament and maybe even steal a game was the Shipley-Finley combo. Losing Mosley it hurts, but I thought those two last year were electric on a really bad Wisconsin team. They're easy to key on because there was no depth. They really had 5 guys, and those two were the two-headed monster. I'm a little worried. I'm not going to lie, Beard. I don't know if you've been able and you want to chime in.
Hey, real quick, I just saw Rico jumping in to say hello and have a great show this season. The Irish added skates to the Leprechaun. That's pretty cool. Yeah. All right, Rico, it's good to hear from you, man. Appreciate you. Snuck
Rico,
in there
man.
Between Avi. Yep. Rico, my old co-host from the NHL Nightly. I hope he's doing well. He's a great person. You're always welcome back on anytime, Rico. Would love to have you. Thank you so much. If I missed you, hope you're still there. And Avi says Thursday night games are all right. Like you said, there could always be a little bit of an upset there. And then Ohio State versus UConn will be a fun series from Avi as well. A non-conference game. We'll throw up the scores there, or we'll throw up the schedule for tomorrow. But again, let's reiterate, tomorrow on ESPN2, you'll be able to watch BU Michigan State you're going to be at the game Friday as well?
I will be there Saturday. Friday, I am watching Western Michigan is at University of Lowell, and I want to go see the defending national champs. So I will be at Lowell Friday, and then I will be at BU on Saturday. Plus, I want to see more out-of-conference teams. I'm going to see as many as I can. So I get 2 out-of-conference teams this week. Pretty stoked getting to see 2 and 3 or 2 and 4, depending on what rankings you're going off of. And for everyone out there who's new to college hockey, you'll hear Beard and I mention the thing called the pairwise. You'll see more or less after Thanksgiving, around the Christmas time, that's the ranking we're going to go by.
Yeah, we won't even really talk about it.
It's a complicated thing, but just know that kicks in later. For right now, we're just going to go by whatever USCHO is posting. And those will be your rankings.
We're using the USHL rankings. I personally think Northeastern are dogs. No, they have a dog in their logo. They're an awesome team. I can't think of the kid. He's playing for Dallas now. I think Dallas is actually getting whooped, but I will say his name here. Hold on. Dallas is losing 4-2 last I looked to the Canucks, but
the Canucks scored on 3 straight shots.
But it's it's the backup goalie. It's not Ottinger. A bunch of overtime games tonight in the NHL. A bunch of them. Canadians, Preds went to overtime. Rangers, Maple Leafs went to overtime.
It was another one there.
Kraken Senators went to a shootout. Kraken lost in a shootout. That Senators needed to win that game. How about the Islanders beating the Oilers 4-2? And I'll tell you what, I watched that game. Oilers looked dog shit. They shouldn't have never been in it.
Oh my God! Skinner played out of his tree, and what's his face there? Bouchard.
He's not good. They're paying him $10 million. Wow.
$10 million to just. You and I can play better than him. That was awful.
Well, no, that's not true. I cannot play better than him.
I can't. I would at least be in a better position.
I definitely cannot. I can't skate backwards. So I love hockey, and I know what good hockey looks like because I cannot do it myself. The kid's name I'm looking for Dallas, by the way, I believe he played at Northeastern, is Justin Hirokian. And that kid, he was undrafted. And I knew he was going to tear it up. And he looks good. He's going to be a great 3rd, 4th line guy the rest of his career. And he was every time you watch Northeastern play. Anyway, UMass Northeastern, I think Johnny Lazarus might be calling that game.
I believe so.
Yeah. And then but our friend Colby Cohen, who's been on the show, you can go back and watch the interview. Thank you to Colby for getting that in. last year. We're going to try to have him on again at least once this year again. Don't want to abuse it, but love to have him. And then it was good to have Mike. Mike has to be a part of the interview with Colby, and obviously Mike McMahon. We got to try to get him back on. So I'm really excited for that Northeastern UMass game. I know that everybody's going to be tuning in to BU Michigan State, #1 versus #3. Also Boston College versus RPI. I think RPI is prime for an upset here, man. And then Maine Quinnipiac. We got obviously the defending champs, UMass Lowell in your neck of the woods. And then, Big Willie Styles, shout out Big Willie. He's probably not listening, but shout out Big Willie. He said, "Hey, you got to come to a Minnesota game with me sometime." And I was like, "I'm in, dude. I'll be there. I got to go. I got a good Army buddy I could visit there." So I'm very excited about Minnesota, North Dakota too. So I'm going to be watching nothing but college hockey tomorrow night. World Series, whatever, don't give a shit. We're watching college hockey. And Mike, Friday, what's your destination for Friday? Where are you going to be?
Lowell in Western Michigan, be there Friday night.
Okay.
So anyone there, guys, feel free to join me. Where am I sitting? I'm sitting on the penalty side box of the arena, and I'll be about 10 rows off. Come down, say hello. I'll probably be at the auction in between periods because that's what I do. There's a reason I'm a degenerate. It's not just because of gambling. I guess maybe you could argue auctions are gambling. I don't know. But
okay, well, let's get right to your talking points. #1, you have that Maine Quinnipiac. Maine swept the series last year. 6-1 and 7-6 in overtime. I do not think that happens again this year. Matt Merle's down on Maine.
I'm not against that. Like, watching Quinnipiac this year when they played Providence, I was like, wow, this team brought some offense. And then Providence is just a great stay-at-home defensive team and blocked a lot of shots. Providence won that game 2-1. But I'm like, it was a more fluid offensive team. And their power play, I haven't checked their power play, but at one point, 0 for 13.
A lot of teams in the NHL are starting bad on the power play. I think just getting those looks out. And Avi thinks North Dakota is going to sweep Minnesota. We'll get to that. Yeah.
Yeah. See, I'm with you there, but I hate knocking Alaska Fairbanks. I hate knocking anyone except Denver and Ohio State, but you can't go 0 for 6 against them. You got to convert once. Providence, great penalty killing team. I'm never going to knock their defense. That's how they build their team. That's all their drafted players are two-way forwards, defensemen, and goalies. And Conley's an exception there, but you can't go 0 for 4. So I am concerned about the Quinnipiac power play, and Maine's a very physical team, and they're not afraid to take penalties. So
but Quinnipiac is built around that defensive first.
Yes, absolutely.
Too. They're definitely a 200-foot team, and so
I'm just thinking Maine's going to take advantage of their bad power play.
Quinnipiac, correct?
Yes, this one is in Connecticut. Last year it was in Alphon. I don't think Quinnipiac was ready for that first night because if anyone who's been to Alphon, I've been there. They get on you in warmups. I was there for the Maine Denver game last year. Denver's in their sweatsuits outside running, and their Maine fans are going at them already. Puck drop was 7:30. At 4:30, you get heckled and booed, and everyone knows your sister's name and your girlfriend's name, and it wears on you if you're not ready for it. So I don't think they were ready for game number 1, and game number 2 they were obviously prepared. Took them to OT. So.
Yeah, Avi says Maine might get swept there or might get the sweep there. The more talented can score. I don't know what I mean. This is the first real week of the season, right? So we're kind of done with the tournaments and the cross play. I mean, obviously last week we had Penn State, Arizona State, a marquee matchup with some teams we hope to see in the tournament this year, but and obviously in Maine dominated Holy Cross, even though they suck. Avi, I thought you hadn't watched any college hockey this year. You sure have a lot to chime in on for someone who hasn't watched anything this year. What did he not come on the show Monday and said he hasn't watched shit? All of a sudden he's caught up on all this.
I had nothing to do for 3 days. I mean,
Okay.
I'm with them.
All right. Okay.
Maine Quinnipiac's a great matchup, though. Both 200-foot
Yeah.
teams, both rock solid goalies. But I mean, if you had to give one edge, it's Maine's offense. You had to get another edge. It's going to be Quinnipiac's defense. So I do think if Quinnipiac gets a power play goal, I do think they win the game. Whoever is plus 1.5, I didn't even look at that line because I just went, I'm not touching this. If you wanted a betting advice, whoever's plus 1.5, take it. I think that's got a chance. But honestly, that's one you put your feet up,
and just enjoy the game.
Yeah, that's going to be. That's one of my favorite games I want to watch.
You know what, though? If you're not, I don't care if you have a phone, you're at a game, whatever, tune into ESPN2 and watch Bucci and Colby. Let's get everybody you know to throw that game on one of their devices so we can get good ratings for college hockey. So ESPN will sink some money into production for us, and we get more college hockey games on the platform, not somewhere buried in ESPN Plus. This is a huge deal, man. We really need the college hockey fans to show out and watch BU Michigan State.
That game is going to be absolutely electric. I can't wait. Last year I got to see BU with Michigan play, and so this year I get to see Michigan State play. So I'm pretty pumped about that. I like doing the comparisons. Obviously, guys, yes, I'm a diehard Blue fan, so I'll be rocking out to BU gear. Did I wear this T-shirt plant? No, I did not, but it fits.
Okay, I'm gonna take the screen off. We're gonna go back to full screen. But Avi says, yes, sir. ESPN2 at 7 p.m. tomorrow night. Get your popcorn. Top 3 game for sure. Again, all I'm saying is, and this wasn't on your checklist, Mike, so we'll go into Ohio State UConn next. But
yes,
let's watch that game. A lot of times they have 4 or 5 things pulled up. Pull up that game. Watch it. Put it on your TV. Even if you're going out, watch it. Stream it on your phone. We need to get college hockey into the lexicon. Because I'll tell you what, college football's popularity is going way up. And I'll tell you why. Because they have NIL, and the teams are a lot more even than they used to. And on any given week now, someone can lose. You don't have Alabama beating St. Mary's School of Deaf and Blind 90-0. You have a bunch of good teams playing each other every week. So this is the same thing as happening in college hockey. I'm telling you, we're seeing it. We're already seeing it. Look at the upsets we had in week 1. It's because of the transfer portal, NIL, and all that. So,
I think it's great, and I think it's opening up. A lot of people are telling me, like, "Oh, are the Blue Bloods going to wash it out with NIL?" And we're seeing no, which is exciting. And then we're also seeing teams like Western Michigan who opted out of NIL. They're right there. They're one of the top dogs, defending national champs. They opted out of NIL, so their players are getting the standard scholarship stipends, etc. But they're not getting $750K a year like some guys are. They're you want to go college football? They're not getting a deal with Mercedes where they get a new car every year plus a paycheck.
Yeah,
they're getting a scholarship.
We know that most of the kids aren't getting a lot. But Gavin McKenna is making basically what a kid would make in the majors at the minimum deal, and he's getting to play a shortened schedule from what he's normally used to, because they play a lot more in juniors. They play 62 games in juniors, so he's going to play a third of that, or 2/3 of that, 42 games, 44, depending on how far Penn State goes in the tournament. Maybe they get close to 50. But he's going to be able to be on the best nutrition plan, work out. So that's what I'm going to be interested to see with players like that. Obviously, Porter Martone, kid didn't need to put any size on. Shook his hand at the draft. He's massive. So he could play in the NHL tomorrow. But the Flyers were like, no, go to college, And it was a smart move because they know where they're at. They're not going to compete for a cup this year. So Bobby says, for the people listening, Michigan, and obviously the people on TikTok, you're not seeing the banners. Hopefully I get that worked out and I can use StreamYard to, it says I can, but again, I'm having some problems figuring it out. So right now we're doing this jerry rig thing where I'm live basically on 3 platforms simultaneously. So, he says Michigan State looked okay. Again, they always come up short for me as far as Michigan State goes. They did nothing in the tournament. I would have had a much better bracket in the Morning Cup of Hockey bracket challenge if Michigan State would have just won some damn games. Yeah, didn't they get beat by UNH?
Michigan State last year.
No, this last week.
Oh yeah, they split with UNH, and that's unacceptable.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
at Michigan State,
UNH is not even a top 20 team, right? So
they were a team. I'm like, they might finish number 20. Like I thought, I put that as their ceiling. But that's still not a tournament.
He says yes. Cornell beat them.
Yeah, the tournament last year, Cornell beat them. Yeah. Ian Shane decided to be Ian Shane, and there was a reason why I said last year he could be a Richter finalist.
But Avi, Cornell is nasty, bro, and all them kids are smart. They got the smarts. They can. I mean, I think a lot of times, man, people underestimate hockey sense over like pure ability. Because how many times? Look, that Michigan team that was in Tampa that had Luke Hughes and Fantilli, and it was so stacked. Those guys are unbelievable in the pros now, and they could not beat Quinnipiac. And Quinnipiac didn't have a fraction of the talent that team had, but they were smart. They played unbelievably great defensive hockey. And, you know, I hate to keep using them as an example, but Western Michigan was very much the same. I thought Western Michigan was just deep. Deep too. They didn't have anybody that was going to. Alex Bump, unbelievable kid, unbelievable. And I don't believe he made the Flyers this year. So is he playing in Lehigh? If I was God, I would have went back to college.
I think he's in Lehigh.
I'd rather play in college one more year if it was me.
But I think that's a great example though. It's just like I think if you picked a one-on-one tournament last year, BU versus Western, best on best, I think BU probably wins. What you had 18 guys, I'll give it 15-3.
BU's young as shit this year too. They got young guys.
They like do. But also, what's crazy about BU? They have 22 drafted players, and they have 3 freshmen who aren't drafted yet starting.
I'm going to tell you right now, BU's going to be in the Frozen Four. That's my early prediction. They're going to be in the Frozen Four.
They're
Why do I say this? Because they're in the Frozen Four every year. Every freaking year they're in the Frozen Four. Jay Pandolfo is the best college hockey coach out there right now, in my opinion.
So Jay is, including this year, it's his 8th year. So he's had 7 possible chances to get to a postseason. He's been to 7 Frozen Fours.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
4 as a player, 3 as a player, 3 as a coach. And again, a lot of people are like, well, he inherited a good BU team. He did. I'll give him that. But he also recruited and kept BU good. And I'll say his first year as a head coach, I thought that maybe was a tournament team at best. They had to make a few upsets to get in the Frozen Four. Actually, I lied. They were a 13 seed. They were the last team in before the auto bids, and they won. So,
yeah, I agree with what you're saying, Avi. If BU and Western Michigan was a 7-game series, Western would have won it in 4-2. No, Western won. The best team won the national championship last year, Avi. No one's debating that. What we're saying is, it doesn't matter. BU just reloads. And Cole Hudson, he's not coming out after this year, I don't think.
No, he wants to, but he again wants to do too.
Well, but I think John Carlson's going to retire. I think O.V. Carlson, they're going to retire, and so there'll be a place for Hudson, especially since the Caps just set down on waivers Dylan Iorio, and he was claimed by I know, not ideal, a 6'3", 225 right shot defenseman who's had some promise and has won some Calder Cups in Hershey, is now a member of the San Jose Sharks because they claimed him on waivers.
Jesus.
So, well, you just hate that not getting anything for a player like that. Yeah, you know, that's probably the biggest thing. But yeah, what we're saying is, see, Avi agrees with me. He thinks Hudson will go pro after this year. I agree with you, Avi. I think for sure the Capitals will have a need for a puck moving defenseman to go along with Jacob Chychrun to replace John Carlson. So that's going to happen. And Chychrun's much more of a jump into the front, shoot it, where Carlson's a back end kind of, and He's looking his age too. I love the guy, but it's time for him to retire. Okay, let's get back on track. You want to talk about Ohio State, UConn?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's my God, beautiful matchup. I was honestly devastated I couldn't go. Pretty much, guys, when you
Ohio
ask,
State?
no, it's in
UConn.
UConn, but I have the
That's
choice
close.
between 20-minute drive and a 2-hour drive. Give me 20 minutes. Give me 20 minutes all day.
Yeah, especially this early in the year.
Yeah. But I love the Big Ten, guys. It's tradition. Big Ten's got a lot of firepower, and we're seeing it early. We're seeing it often. You see the guys who score all the goals. And this UConn team last year was just to grind them out. We're
Frozen Four.
Just Frozen Four, and they were just a better.
Four.
Yeah. So, like, I want to know, people I want to look at is Felix Caron, power forward, RPI transfer, playing now for Ohio State. I watched his interview. He said it was a big difference, going from RPI. It's a big school size. It's big, but it's not Ohio State. Now you get the media and the pressure, and people go, as he said, people go to the Ohio State hockey games, where RPI was just kind of a on-campus event. And Maldoni over at UConn, just a big forward. I love him to death. I liked watching him last year. Richter, I apologize. He was the other power forward over at UConn. He's gone. He went to the league, and that's what happens. But those two, just big power forwards, physical guys. I'm looking forward to. I'm going to rewatch that one. But rewatching that battle, just go at it. But if you're watching that game, guys, those are two guys I would key on, and look for them to always be in.
You're okay. I apologize.
Yes.
Eastern Egger, thank you for joining on Instagram. Appreciate you. And Angie, thank you for being on Instagram. We got like between all the platforms, we got like 30 people online. We got people on TikTok, we got people on Instagram, we got people on X, we got people on Twitch, we got people on YouTube. We appreciate all of you. I didn't mean to cut Mike off on his thing.
Good.
There, go ahead, finish your thoughts on UConn. And then we will move on to what I said was the game. You did have it on the list. I just missed it.
It's all good. No, I was saying, look for two power forwards. What's best is it's a right shot versus a left shot. So we'll actually see them line up next to each other. So very exciting. And obvious, UConn did lose to Penn State in double OT. And honestly, if that game was truly a neutral site game, it was quote unquote neutral site, but it was on 30 minutes from Penn State. If that's sincerely a neutral site game, I think UConn gets
30 minutes from Penn State.
Yeah, it was. Where was it?
Yes,
Allentown, PA.
I thought UConn made the Frozen Four.
No, that Penn State knocked them out in double OT at the Allentown.
Okay, and Penn State made it. So either way, it would have been one of their both Frozen Fours.
Yeah.
Right? I believe it would have been the first Frozen Four. So
that's what I mean. I think if that was a true neutral game, I think UConn gets it. So, but that's, again, my opinion. His there and the other thing. But look for that matchup. They're lining up against each other. It's going to be a good one. And then, as I said, we'll lead right into BU Michigan State. We just talked about the BU reloading. They've got back end scoring. They've got front end scoring. Things I've noticed. I've been to BU a couple times. If you can
best goal scorer in the elite in the right now, right?
Yeah, but if you can take the body on player, Heiserman's a. Ooh,
how many NHL teams are going to regret passing on that kid?
10, because 10 passed on him.
Yeah, I know Boston was trying to get him, right?
We were, but we couldn't move up. I mean, it happens.
You end up with Porter Martone. That's not terrible.
No, but I'm looking at Trey Augustine. I thought he'd be a Richter winner last year. He was a finalist. He looks great again.
Who won it last year? Who won the Richter?
Fowler for Boston College.
Yeah, and he should be. He's not playing.
He's in the pros. Year. He went from Richter finalist to Richter winner to the NHL.
I don't think he's playing in the NHL.
No, he's scratched in AHL, but he's out of college. Part of me thinks bad move because he didn't make the NHL. But
they slow play goalies a lot, especially at an organization like Montreal. They're gonna slow play the goalie. I'm gonna look on Puckpedia.
Yeah, I will say they did ruin Wayne Primo to Northeastern. I love that kid. Watching.
Not Wayne Primo. Not Wayne Primo.
It was last Primo.
Caden
Primo. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, he was from Montreal too. Like his first.
Wayne was a forward. And he's been retired for a long time. Go ahead. Sorry.
Sorry, guys. Thank you for the catch there. But I didn't like the way they developed him. he's turned out to be bad. And like,
he's not with
he was drafted by
somebody
Montreal.
Just signed him recently.
Yeah,
I just saw.
But like that's what I mean. Like I thought they fumbled the bag on him. Like I thought he was the Carey Price replacement. Just up here goes Primo now, and no, so I am worried about Fowler there because I don't like the way Montreal handles goalies. Again, personal opinion.
Well, but Montembeau is the clear starter. Did they have that Dobish kid? That Dobish kid played so well last year. There's reason they made the playoffs was their backup goalie was solid too. So Laval their ECHL team won the Kelly Cup, I believe, and I think Laval their AHL team. This is Montreal we're talking about. And Jacob Fowler is on his initial deal, so he is getting $923,000, but he is non-rostered goaltender right now, so that means they're playing him in the AHL. But that's good for him because then he's getting starter minutes. So for you guys, if any Canadian listeners are wondering, coming to college, this is going to benefit him. One, he's never played a workload like a pro. The AHL plays very close to what the NHL plays in games, so he'll play a ton of games, and it's just to get him in condition. And I'll tell you, Mike, I think if it's late in the year, Montreal is having a little bit of problems, they won't hesitate to bring him up if he's playing well.
As I said,
they played Carey Price young. They played Jose Theodore young. They played Patrick Waugh young, and they played Ken Dryden young. Montreal has a history of playing the goaltenders young, and all of them win. So, I mean, the fact that they've gone, I will tell you, I'm starting to believe that if the Canadian drought of a Canadian team winning is going to be broken by the Habs, the team that's won 23 Stanley Cups already. So it's like they don't need another one, but they're run so well. I don't know if you saw Lane Hutson's deal. He got 8.8. He got less than Luke Hughes. And look, I like Luke Hughes' size and stuff, but I'll tell you what, Lane Hutson's 5 times the hockey player Luke Hughes is. I like Luke Hughes, but I think when it's all said and done, I don't think their careers are going to be all that close. Lane's won the Calder.
Yeah, no, so, I'll admit I was wrong on Lane. I thought his size would be a problem. I never thought his skill. I thought his size would be a problem. He's proven me wrong. Very happy about that. I don't mind being wrong. I'm not afraid to admit I was wrong. So I'm very happy that he's beating me, outshining, and I'm never going to.
I interrupted you on Trey Augustine to get back to Michigan State and BU. Yeah. Let's get it back on focus.
The question is, can Trey Augustine weather the storm? I think he can. I think Michigan, they're number 3 in the country. They're obviously a good team. I think you got to stay out of the box.
I think BU sweeps this weekend.
Well, see, here's my fear is
that
BU isn't physical. Clarkson is super physical. Took it to Michigan State. And we saw they won 6-4. So and Clarkson drew penalties. They converted on the power play. If BU can draw some penalties, their power plays. I'm not knocking Clarkson guys, but BU's power play is way better than Clarkson. If Michigan State stays out of the box, it's going to be a much tighter game. I'm super stoked. Michigan State's not going to be rattled by the BU crowd. They're used to playing in hostile environments. So I don't think the crowd will necessarily be a factor, but I'm excited. But Augustine, I know has the ability to steal. So it'll be the question of, can BU weather the storm? They've started slow against RPI. They started slow against Long Island. You start slow against Michigan State, they're going to punish you. And honestly, Long Island, I thought, got screwed, and that game should have went to overtime. But,
So, your prediction for Michigan State BU is?
Split.
Okay. So who are you taking Friday? You don't know?
BU. I think
BU in the opener and Michigan State on the back-to-back.
On the game that I see that I don't want them to win yet.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
You can't be happy. Okay. All right. Well, let's talk about Western Michigan, UMass Lowell. You'll be at that game Friday.
Yep. I'll be there Friday. Looking forward to. So last year, Lowell, we watched them. It was a rebuild year. And all of a sudden, all these freshmen and sophomores, a couple of D3 call-ups, some big transfers in from smaller schools are suddenly fluttering in to number 8 in the country. Then they got to number 6 in the country. They were number 6 in the country with 7 games to go. losing to Stonehill once, lost to Alaska once, lost to Vermont twice. And that's why they didn't make the tournament. Can't lose to those teams in a row. And they went from number 6 to out. They kept 13 of those skaters. Now, granted, they're sophomores and juniors. I'd still call it a rebuild. They lost 5 defensemen. They had to reload the back end. And they don't have per standard ULOL goalie. And to put it in perspective, Connor Hellebuck, we all know Connor Hellebuck. They've had statistically better goalies at Lowell after Hellebuck. Nah, NHL-wise, he's been their best alum. So, but to just put it in perspective, like how ULOL is factored in goalies. So they don't have the traditional powerhouse goalie this year like they did with Welsh last year. So I'm just curious, particularly the upfront battle. Can Lowell weather the storm with Western? Back end wise, I'm very, very nervous for Lowell. And I think Western knows that to just get the puck deep. They're bigger, they're more senior. We know they can win it all because they kept most of that national championship team. That would be my game plan if it was Western. Get the puck to the corners, force these young kids into a high pressure situation. Again, crowd noise, I don't think it's going to be a factor for Western. I know that student section gets rowdy and gets pretty hostile. I'm not going to say violent, but I don't think that's going to be a factor for Western. They're just used to playing in the chaos of the NCHC. But looking forward to that nonetheless. Seeing what they can do. And then I think it's also a great scouting game for Lowell. I've seen a lot of scouts at the last Merrimack Lowell game. I saw a ton, 17 to be exact. And so now you're playing against national champs. So I want to see it. So
Avi says Western Michigan sweeps, but Lowell keeps it close.
The Friday game, it's technically Lowell's homecoming. I think that energy will keep it close. If they're going to win, it's going to be Friday. I don't think there's a snowball's chance on Saturday for the Riverhawks.
Yeah.
I'm telling it like it is.
Yeah, I agree. And by the way, just for those who are wondering, Alex Bump isn't on his initial deal with the Flyers, but he's playing in the AHL, I think Lehigh Valley. But he signed his 3-year, $950K a year deal. I believe is only 21, so I'm assuming he came out early. So
he had another year.
I'm assuming he did just his junior year, but he was ready. I mean, he was far and away. We're gonna be talking about that guy as one of the top. Well, is he a left winger? I thought he was a D man.
There was Bump, and then there was.
He was a D man, right? He's a D man.
Yeah, the Narig was the forward, I thought.
Yeah, well, Puckpedia has him listed as a left winger. That is not right. Pretty sure Alex Bump is a D man. Unless you and me and your uncle did so much edibles, I fucking totally wiped that whole weekend. He was a defenseman, right? I mean,
that's what I thought. I know. You know what? It might be on. No, I thought he was a defenseman. Nonetheless, I'm going to roll in. Bump's going to be great. I was happy with him, and I think he's going to be great. The only reason I can think he left was, as you said, he was ready to go. And a lot of times these guys are like, I'm just kind of done with school. They do actually have coursework, especially the guys without NIL deals. You have to have a certain GPA to play. So some guys are like, I've guys I played high school lacrosse with, they went and played big time college lacrosse, and they'll, with the tutor, with all the help, they're like, I got a 2.1 GPA, I can play lacrosse this year. I'm like, you're potentially getting drafted. They couldn't stay in for all 4 years. They weren't smart enough. So I don't know his grades. I'm not saying he's dumb. I don't know anything about his personality. But sometimes guys are like, I'm just done with school and burnt out, and I'm going to the league. I want my paycheck.
This guy, I mean, okay, they say he's a left wing. I thought he was a defenseman.
I know.
Anyway.
There's no NIL at Western, so he may have just wanted the bag. You may have just said that.
I mean, it's not really the bag, but the sooner you start your ELC, the younger, the better it is for you long term. Anyway, this is a college hockey show, so I don't want to go down the rabbit hole too much of that. Let's get back. Okay, you got the split between Western Michigan and BU. You like Western Michigan, or I'm sorry, you got the Michigan State and BU, you got the split. You like Western Michigan to sweep UMass Lowell just because UMass Lowell doesn't have what we think is a dominant goalie like they've had in years past. Long Island at Penn State.
So I've seen Long Island play a couple times this year.
Yeah.
One of the most physical teams I've ever seen, and they do not care who you are. Like, they came out literally swinging, throwing punches 30 seconds in when they played BU.
He says take the over.
I like the over there, but Penn State got beat up by Clarkson, and that's how it happened. So I'm like, wait a minute here. Arizona State was kind of hanging tough.
I thought Arizona State was the more physical team, to be quite
right,
frank.
and that's what I mean.
Yeah.
I'm like, Long Island, there's no one more physical than I haven't seen this year's Clarkson team, but no, this is the most physical college hockey team I've ever seen, and I've seen some
Long Island
Cornell teams this year.
Long Island, I love it,
and that's why I'm like, wait a minute, this smells like a potential upset here. I'll say it. The McKenna line as a line -4. Dabrowski, who almost won Defenseman of the Year, left Army -4. Like, these are their big guns, and they're scoring goals. 5 goals, 4 games. Well, you got your 5 points, 4 games. I'm sorry. You've been on the ice for 9 against. You're on the ice for 2 goals a game. You're not good in your defensive end, and you're going to play the most physical team that you're going to play all season. I'm not saying the Big Ten isn't physical, but guys, if you get a chance to watch this Long Island team, they forget that there's a puck on the ice. They will just beat the living crap out of you. And it's fun hockey to watch. It's old school Scott Stevens coming across the blue line hockey.
You got me interested in watching. I'm going to try to find that.
So if Long Island brings the tenacity I saw against BU, they're going to steal a game in Happy Valley. I'm just saying it here.
I would not be surprised. And we already saw Penn State get upset already this year. So, Avi says Penn State is too skilled not to score. And Long Island played BU tough 4-2 game. Yep. So, And
that 4-2 game, I think it should have been 1-0 Long Island early. And then obviously BU doesn't get the empty netter at a 3-3 game. So,
okay.
Yeah.
How about the rubber match between Michigan State and Minnesota State and Wisconsin, 20 versus 17? Tonight Wisconsin won in a shootout. It is in Wisconsin. You think Wisconsin sweeps the weekend? Or well, it wouldn't be really the weekend because it's Thursday, Friday.
Yeah, but I do. Yeah. And reason being, I thought they were the better team tonight on the highlights I got to watch. I was looking at the stats. They were very overwhelmingly on the power. So I'm not knocking Minnesota State's goalie. Again, a school that traditionally produces great goaltending. Can he do it again? Can you go back to back of just flawless nights? Shipley, Finley, can you guys, it's Finley, wake up? Like, you are one of my favorite scorers. Like, I thought you'd flirt with like a Big Ten scoring title for guys that aren't on Penn State, of course. Like, I thought he would be one of them, and he hasn't really got it going yet. So look for a breakout game. The guy was captain clutch last year. So especially if the Shipley-Finley combo gets moving, I really like the Badgers tomorrow. When you ask me, am I betting it tomorrow? No, I am not betting a game that just went to a shootout with a brick wall goalie. Yeah. I'll tell you my insights. I'll tell you what I think. That is one. Again, It's 20 versus 17, guys. Just grab some popcorn. Watch the game.
Let me just say this. The college hockey world needs Scotty in the mix. Wisconsin's women team won the national championship last year. I think they won the most. We need their men's team back in the Frozen Four conversation. That is a rich hockey area that doesn't get talked about enough. And we desperately need that Wisconsin viewership to help with the promotion of college hockey, because it's probably like the 3rd or 4th best state. Like, to me, Massachusetts and Minnesota, you can make an argument. I give the edge to Minnesota because it's larger and they still have high school hockey. Okay. But right there, 1A, 1B, Massachusetts, Minnesota, and then right behind them is Michigan and Wisconsin. And for my book, and you could start throwing in Illinois and St. Louis, because all the kids that are coming out of there, the Kachucks, Kellers, all the, like, why, I
saw it was on Everything College Hockey. the number 3 state this year for most kids in college hockey. Minnesota was 1, Mass was 2, New York was number 3.
Not a shock. Not a shock.
So,
Matty Merles, Johnny Lazarus, friends of the show. Those guys are all New York boys. Pat LaFontaine. You know what?
They passed Michigan and they passed Illinois. Like, they jumped up a couple spots.
Yeah, I'm not shocked. It doesn't hurt that the Rangers and the Islanders have been very successful. I can't say anything about the Sabres, but I think, that's why, like, wouldn't it be great if Syracuse had a Division I college hockey team?
They've got the facility for it.
I mean, dude, wouldn't it be great? Anyway, RPI versus BC Providence. Yeah. So, do you want to get into your bets, or is there any other games that weren't on your? Well, I'm sorry. I think you had a second page. I apologize.
Yes.
Minnesota State, Wisconsin, we just talked about.
So,
Vermont at St. Cloud.
Vermont, guys, you have to win this. You do not have a lot of out-of-conference games that are strong. St. Cloud is strong. Yeah,
Sick jerseys
on the road.
Love their
they've got to have this. I do too. I'm trying to get my hands
on it.
Well,
let's change the Montreal Canadiens jerseys. Like, why reinvent something that's already great? So you go with this thing. I'm
testing out a New Jersey sale. It was on teamtree.com. They're supposed to be here in about a week. I got a Tim Thomas from Vermont and a Martin St. Louis from Vermont. So as soon as I get them, guys, it said supposed to be here the 24th. I'll show you guys. We'll see the quality. I've never ordered anything from them before, so fingers crossed. But
yeah, maybe we get a promo code going with them or something.
But for the Catamounts, you have to win this. You guys are talking about, like, oh, this is our year. We're gonna go play in the Garden. For those that don't know, Hockey East plays their finals where the Bruins play TD Garden, and they think they got a team. They have a couple defensemen and a forward that deserve to be there, but, like, as a team, they don't. I'm sorry, Catamount family, but I want to see, what they can do, and this is the weekend they got to do it. This is St. Cloud's tune-up weekend, and Vermont's got to reach down, grab a bag of knuckles. And also, if you want to get drafted, this is the weekend you need to do it, Catamounts. Like, you went to UVM over D3 schools for a reason. Let's bring it. Let's show it. Let's do what we can,
Okay, let's talk about Arizona State at Augustana.
So Augustana started the year at 19, got pounded by North Dakota at North Dakota. Tough place to play.
Yeah,
especially
that's not even fair.
No, not at all. Homecoming weekend off rip against a firing North Dakota team.
Yep.
Now you're home, and you were electric at home last year. Now Sparty's real good. We've seen the Sun Devils. They hung with Penn State. They're real good. I do like Arizona State here, but it wouldn't shock me if Augustana steals the Saturday game. Right? You get in. You get the jitters. All right, we want the revenge game. You lose 3 in a row, and you're like, no, it's Saturday. We're coming alive. Like, the fans are like, we want it back, and you come out strong and get it. It really wouldn't shock me at all. I like that one. Again, we got a lot of offense versus a hungry underdog that last year almost made the tournament. They lost in the semifinals of their conference, and that killed them because they were at that time 16. Had they won that, they would have jumped up to 14. Played Minnesota State, who was 13, so you had a chance to get in, but you can't lose. Who did they lose to? I think it was Kinesis or something like that. That would knock you out. So, but it's a matchup nonetheless.
Real quick, we got a chat in the TikTok says it's hard to follow Cox because everything wants a subscription. That's killing the sport. I will say though, ESPN Plus is like $10 a month, and you get NHL and college hockey for free on there. So, like, if you're a hockey guy, get the ESPN, Hulu, Disney Plus package for like $14 a month. Who can't afford that? You could afford that. Anybody can afford that. And have that as your one thing because, you get to watch 70% of the NHL, and you'll get to watch probably 90% of the college hockey games. So they do a lot of the Hockey East and stuff. So anyway, Mullet, check that out, man. That's the way to do it. Okay.
And then
recapping we'll get into your bets here.
Yeah.
You got Arizona State over Augustana?
Yep. And then we're going to end with my, like, there's
the
some
best
out of
rivalry in
conference.
college
Yeah.
hockey.
Like, there's
Minnesota at North Dakota. The Taj Mahal. The Golden Gophers, the most storied franchise, arguably, Michigan and, obviously Denver is there now too. But Minnesota, Herb Brooks, legends, the Golden Gophers. Shout out Big Willie Styles, diehard Gophers fan. I love this. I hope they're nasty, like overtime wins. And I don't care who wins, but I hope it's a great game. I'm definitely going to be watching this.
Yeah, this is my favorite out of conference rivalry. Like there's BU Cornell, there's BC Denver. Those are two big ones, but this is one that you got to circle the calendar. I would like it back at the XL Center, and a lot of people are saying, "Well, that's not fair." It's home for Minnesota. That's like an hour, 10 minutes from North Dakota. Their fans will drive to that game.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, the seats that they allow to be sold will sell out. Trust me, man. Minnesota fans sell out preseason Wild games. They have the best high school tournament in the nation. That if there is a state that I said I want the U.S. being represented in hockey, it's the state of hockey, Minnesota,
absolutely.
No doubt.
Absolutely. So that one is I can't wait to watch that one again. Thankfully, that one's time zone's going to help me there, so we'll be able to catch the second and third. Yeah, I'm actually going to use that to tangent into my bets because that's one of them on there. Over 6.5 for that game. I really like.
Let's just get right into your bets for everybody that's listening. That's what a lot of people came in to listen to and tuned into. Mike, just jump into your Friday bets.
Yeah, no, I'm jumping in right there. Is North Dakota, Minnesota. There's a lot of bad blood in those teams, and bad blood to me equals power plays. And those teams can score. They can kill a penalty. Don't get me wrong. There's a reason they're ranked, and there's the reason they're going to flirt with tournaments and Frozen Fours, etc. I like the over at 6.5. Fantastic goaltending. Normally, I would probably take unders with both of these goalies, but not with this heat, not with this intensity. I've seen this rivalry too many times where it goes 1-0 and it goes 5-4. And I do think there's a good chance at overtime. And giving up 3 goals in a game isn't unheard of, right? 3-3 game. That's you could argue that's low scoring. It's high scoring. It's not. You'd never be embarrassed giving up 3 goals. Game can't end in a tie, folks. Someone's got to win. The shootout counts towards the bets. That's a 4-3 game. That's why I like the over there. For those in Massachusetts, you cannot bet this next one. I have friends that live in New Hampshire, guys, the far and distant land of 20 minutes from my house. Texted them, say, hey, guys, what do you got? They have Western Michigan posted as a minus 222. None of us can find them at 1.5, which is kind of surprising. But I like, as I said, we talked about it earlier. You get the speed, you have the tenacity, you have the size. Like it's just, I'm not knocking wool, but they're developing where the defending national champs have most of that roster back. Plain and simple. That's why I like them at 222. Would I take them straight up? No, I'd probably mix them into some parlays, but it is what it is. And then last but not least, I brought it up with the Devils and Augustana earlier. I like the Sun Devils a lot. DraftKings has them at, I'm taking them 1.5 on DraftKings for plus 124. I'm taking that as a straight up bet. I said Augustana, great team. I think they can flirt with the tournament. ASU needs to be in the tournament. And going against Penn State versus going against Augustana, it's a man amongst boys. I think there's a difference. But I'm taking that one straight up. I'm taking on DraftKings again. I'm taking Minnesota, North Dakota. And for anyone who has access to All Bets 365, I'm taking ASU money line. I am taking Western money line. And I'll be taking that over again. See the odds there were plus 375 for all 3 of them. In total, I'm going with 3 units this weekend. I'm sorry. Yeah, 3 units. The parlay for 1 unit, the over on the North Dakota game, and the 1.5 for ASU. It's a lot. I don't like going more than 3 units. I will on occasion when I get like a sleeve of games. 3-leg parlays are definitely hard to hit. So I am a little nervous on that. That's why maybe follow it back when you're placing your bets. Live standings right now, we're up after today's win. It is 0.41. So again, we're not up a full unit yet. This time last year, we were down 4 units, ended up a little over 30. So I know some people ask me about the stack strategy. It's a common strategy in blackjack. Sports betting is not blackjack. Blackjack, the average player wins 47% of the time. And you can come out profitable at 47% in blackjack because you can vary your bets, you get your doubles down, your splits, etc. And especially when you're doing the stack, you win 3 in a row, you can leave because you'll be up 8 times your money. If you think you can hit 3 single games in a row in betting sports, you go right ahead and stack that cash. I'm all for it, not going to stop you. I don't. I think I'm pretty good at my bets. I hit over 60% last year, which is 2 out of 3. That's not 3 out of 3.
Yeah.
So I will not.
Nobody
not
goes 3 out of 3 unless you're Michael J. Fox with the almanac, my friend. So
someone asked me at work, it's like, "Oh, give me a 5-team. What do you call it? A 5-finger Louie." So I took 5 random NHL teams. Monkey scored it and it hit. Guys, it was $5. And if you ask me what did I pick, I don't really remember because I monkey scored it and it hit. And those are the times you always go like, I should have put a full unit on it. But those are my bets. I should be dog sitting Sunday, so if I come live Sunday just to get a little Cody on, I will. We'll see.
There you go. KP's coming on. He's had a rough one. He's had a rough one, man. He had to go to the doctor, and he was all stopped up. He had an infection, and he's just been having a rough week, man. He's hurt. He can't wear a collar. He can't go up the stairs. Poor little fella. Yeah. Poor guy. He's a good guy, though. Okay. Did you get all your bets?
Those are my bets for today. Yeah. I guess, guys, I said they play on Saturdays, too. No Sunday action this week. But for my Saturday bets, I will post them on Saturday. I do not like to post multiple days in advance without knowing the results Friday because I will use the example of last year's Bean Pot. I thought for sure that BC team was going to win. They're going to win. They're going to win. They're going to win. Higgins gets suspended this Saturday before and has to serve a 1-game suspension.
Yeah.
Well, now all of a sudden BC's out there number 1 centerman. Give me BU all day. And DraftKings did not correct that. So we got BU plus money last year without James Higgins. Thank you, DraftKings. Thank you. Appreciate it. Please keep being lazy. Please don't look at suspensions. We appreciate that here. But that's why I don't pick with games in between. I don't want to see a guy get hurt and all of a sudden I needed him to play or suspended or I don't know, just any reason whatsoever. So Saturday picks come Saturday. Friday picks I'll give you Thursday night. And going forward, a lot of Thursday games. I'll try to get those on Wednesday night.
And remember, we'll recap it all Monday. Live again, 10:30 p.m. Eastern. That's the show, Mike. You got anything else?
Thank you guys very much for coming on. As I said, any questions, my X is down below, my Instagram. Find me. If you see me at a game, give me a shout. Come on over. You can see the Savage. You can see Frisbee Brian. He will have Frisbee picks coming up for you guys this spring.
And those hit, guys. He hits on those games. Okay. Real quick. Also, I will be at the Bean Pot tournament with Mike this year. So I will be flying out from Alaska to rock the Bean Pot. I guess I got to go for BU, because Colby's been so good to us. And, of course, I met the greatest American hockey player of all time. I don't care. Anybody can convince me otherwise. Mike Eruzione, captain of the 1980 Olympic hockey team. BU guy. Got to go for BU if I'm there, right? Got to root for BU. Ryan Whitney, BU guy. Let's go.
They got a lot of players.
ESPN 2 tomorrow night. Let's go. Michigan State University versus BU, Boston University. The one we were talking about. That is the show. Check out the new outro. We will. Yes, I'm coming for the Bean Pot, Avi. I will see you in February. Yes, sir. See you February, and we'll see you again Monday, 10:30 Eastern. KP says goodbye. Peace out.